Most people's mental image of the Ark of the Covenant comes from Indiana Jones, a golden box, two angel figures on top, Nazis melting when they open it. The golden box part is roughly accurate. Everything else, not so much. The Ark of the Covenant was the most sacred object in all of ancient Israel, and the full story of what it actually was, what was inside it, what it did, and where it is today, is one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in human history. Let's start at the beginning. The Ark was built in the wilderness. After the Exodus from Egypt, after Moses received the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai, God gave Moses extraordinarily specific instructions for its construction. It was to be built from acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, 1.5 cubits wide, 1.5 cubits tall, roughly 45 inches by 27 inches by 27 inches. The entire thing, inside and outside, overlaid with pure gold, a gold molding around the rim, 4 gold rings attached to the corners, 2 poles of acacia wood, also overlaid with gold, inserted through the rings, for carrying. The poles were never to be removed. The Ark was never to be set down on the ground. It was never to be touched by human hands. On top of the Ark sat the atonement cover, also called the mercy seat, pure gold, the same dimensions as the lid, and on each end of the mercy seat is a cherub, hammered from solid gold, wings spread upward, faces turned toward each other, looking down at the mercy seat. This is where God said he would meet with Moses, between the 2 cherubim, above the mercy seat. The Ark was not simply a decorative religious object, it was understood to be the literal dwelling place of the presence of God on earth. Now, what was inside it? The Bible gives us a clear answer. The 2 stone tablets of the 10 Commandments. That much is widely agreed upon. But the book of Hebrews adds 2 more items. A golden jar containing manna, the miraculous food God provided in the wilderness, and Aaron's staff, the rod that budded miraculously to confirm Aaron's priestly authority. 3 of the most significant objects in all of Israelite history, sealed inside a golden box, in the most holy place on earth. Now let's talk about what the Ark actually did, because the biblical account describes it doing things that are genuinely difficult to explain. When the Israelites crossed the Jordan River to enter Canaan, the priests carrying the Ark stepped into the water, and the river stopped flowing. The water piled up upstream, and the entire nation crossed on dry ground. At the Battle of Jericho, the Israelites marched around the city once a day for 6 days. The priests carried the Ark. On the 7th day they marched around 7 times. The priests blew their trumpets, the people shouted, and the walls of Jericho collapsed. The Ark was captured by the Philistines in battle. And what happened next is one of the strangest passages in the entire Old Testament. The Philistines brought the Ark to the city of Ashdod and placed it in the temple of their god Dagon. The next morning, the statue of Dagon had fallen on its face before the Ark. They set it back up. The following morning, it had fallen again. This time the head and hands had broken off. Then the people of Ashdod began suffering from tumors. A plague broke out in the city. The Ark was moved to Gath. The plague followed. It was moved to Ekron. The plague followed again. After 7 months, the Philistine leaders had had enough. They sent the Ark back to Israel on a cart pulled by 2 cows, with gold offerings, gold tumors and gold rats, as a guilt offering. They couldn't get rid of it fast enough. When the Ark arrived back in Israelite territory, the people rejoiced. But then something terrible happened. Some of the men of Beth Shemesh looked inside the Ark, and they died. 70 men, dead for looking inside. The text is clear that the Ark was not something to be approached casually. It was dangerous, holy in the most literal and terrifying sense of the word. Years later, when David was bringing the Ark to Jerusalem, the oxen pulling the cart stumbled. A man named Uzzah reached out and touched the Ark to steady it, and God struck him dead on the spot. David was afraid of the Ark after that. He left it at the house of a man named Obed-Edom for 3 months, before finally bringing it to Jerusalem. The Ark resided in Jerusalem through the reigns of David and Solomon. Solomon built the temple specifically to house it. When the temple was completed, the Ark was installed in the Holy of Holies, the innermost chamber, separated from the rest of the temple by a thick curtain, where it could only be entered once a year, by the high priest alone, on Yom Kippur, and then silence. The last time the Ark is mentioned in the Old Testament as a physical present object is in the reign of King Josiah, around 621 BC, just decades before the Babylonian invasion. When the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem in 586 BC, they destroyed the temple, They looted everything of value: gold, silver, bronze, the great pillars, the lampstands, the bowls. The Bible lists everything the Babylonians took. Everything. The ark is not on the list. The most sacred object in all of Israel, the one thing the Babylonians would certainly have taken, is simply not mentioned. It vanishes from the biblical record entirely, and nobody knows why. So where is it? There are several serious theories worth considering. The first, and most dramatic, is that it was destroyed in the Babylonian invasion, burned along with the temple, gone forever. The second theory is that it was hidden. Before the Babylonians arrived, priests may have removed the ark and concealed it somewhere. The Book of Maccabees, one of the texts left out of most Protestant Bibles, claims that the prophet Jeremiah hid the ark in a cave on Mount Nebo, the mountain where Moses died, and sealed the entrance, saying it would not be found until God gathers his people together again. The third theory is one of the most intriguing. Ethiopia. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church claims, with absolute certainty, that they have the ark, right now, today, in a small chapel in the ancient city of Aksum, called the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. Their tradition holds that the ark was brought to Ethiopia by Menelik, the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. According to Ethiopian tradition, the Queen of Sheba was Ethiopian. She visited Solomon. They had a son. That son, Menelik, later visited his father in Jerusalem. And when he returned to Ethiopia, he brought the ark with him. The Ethiopian church has maintained this claim for centuries. They say the ark is there, guarded by a single monk whose sole responsibility is its protection. He never leaves. No one else is permitted to see it. Not even the Ethiopian president. Not even the Ethiopian patriarch of the church. One monk, one chapel, one of the greatest mysteries in human history. Is it actually the ark? Nobody outside that chapel knows. Archaeological teams have never been permitted to examine it. The fourth theory involves the Temple Mount itself, Jerusalem. Some researchers believe the ark was hidden beneath the Temple Mount before the Babylonian invasion, in a network of tunnels and chambers beneath the city, and that it is still there today, inaccessible because the Temple Mount is one of the most politically sensitive pieces of land on Earth. No excavation has ever been permitted beneath it. We may be standing, figuratively, right on top of the answer, and not be able to reach it. Here's what strikes me most about the Ark of the Covenant. Every culture has sacred objects, objects that connect the human to the divine, objects around which entire civilizations organize their lives. The Ark was that object for ancient Israel, the physical symbol of the covenant between God and his people, and it is gone. Whether it was destroyed, hidden, carried to Africa, or buried beneath Jerusalem, its absence has haunted Jewish and Christian tradition for 2,600 years, and the search for it has never really stopped. Maybe it never will. Next time, the event that made the disappearance of the Ark possible. The fall of Jerusalem, the night the Babylonians came through the walls, and everything changed. Subscribe to Before the Sermon so you don't miss it.